So, if you have any questions, you can ask questions. And also, as Satyaprashant is asking repeatedly, so few suggestions what they can do immediately to increase their Prana Shakti.
First, I want to listen from them. But they should ask.
First, any questions you ask them, ask Sarna.
Okay, what did you understood from the entire discussion since the morning? Like, essence of all the talks which we were.
So, what is your takeaway from the morning 2 sessions, morning and afternoon session? Anyone would like to share? And if you have any questions, please ask.
We should not be too distant from the nature, sir. We should be part of nature. We should not be too.
I can't hear.
We should part of nature. We should not be too. We should be part of nature. We should not be separate from the nature.
Yeah.
Then we can feel more energized. We can more strength and all. I feel that.
Any questions?
Yes, sir. I mean, by applying sanitizer, by applying phone, by keeping phone in one hand, we are getting lot of energy difference in just milliseconds, nanoseconds I can say maybe. So how can be that happen?
How?
My friends are asking me, ma'am, sir gave you money to do that, right? Tell me how much I gave.
The others are asking, were you acting? Did sir give any money to act?
That's why I called 2 people
Yes,
from
sir.
yourself, na?
Yes,
so that you will have more trust among yourself.
Even the Rudraksha, like there is
Yes,
no
sir.
connection, na? Was there any discussion?
Yes, sir. Some fellow asked me whether sari is moving too fast. No, he didn't even move a little. I saw from the near.
It's a science.
Yes, sir.
See, every material will radiate certain frequencies. Can you give me the Rudraksha again? But yes, people can deceive. Anything will work. Actually, I forgot my dowsing tool. No, anything will work. Anything will work. So if you see, if I ask it to rotate clockwise, it is rotating clockwise.
Yes, the whole thing is rotating and.
My intention here. If I ask to rotate anti-clockwise, it's rotating anti-clockwise. I am not moving, it's only the mind. If I ask it to move towards right side, it's moving towards right. If I ask to move towards left side, it's moving towards my left.
Yes, sir.
Okay, suppose this is 0 to 180 degrees. Okay, now if I ask it to move to 90 degrees, am I moving it?
No, sir.
I am looking somewhere. If you see my finger also, I am not shaking it. It's only the thought. So here I am using my mind direction. So when you have to measure something, you should be neutral. That's very important. There are many people who will use such equipments to show certain energies, but when you use your mind, then it's cheating. So here mind is an instrument, it should be non-judgmental, because without mind this cannot be happen. Mind is an interface, but it should not judge, it should not direct anything. It should just hold on an object, ask the energy, what is the energy for this object, that's it. Give the command. Don't give any instruction to move left or right or rotation. If you are doing it, then yes, it's misguiding. Okay? Why should I tell this? Because people are getting misguided from its practices. So cheating is also happening. But the science here is, this is only a tool. Every material will release certain electromagnetic field. Okay, we can sense with our hands. Some people have that sensitivity, some people cannot sense. For them, like how a doctor, like suppose you see your pulse, right? So if I try to check the pulse, I cannot understand like you, because you got trained how to hold, which pulse to hold, like vata pitta kapha nadi, again in that organs, liver, spleen, heart, how to hold. Subtly if you hold, then it is one organ. If you go deeper, it is a other organ, right? So in that vata pitta kapha, by that pulse you will understand, because you got trained, you practiced, you are aware. But a layman, if you touch, he will tell like, I can't understand. Similarly, ECG graph, for a layman it's like Greek and Latin. For a doctor, he can tell you like what is your heart condition. Stethoscope, it's only a tool. These are all our tools. So but you should know the knowledge behind it. So even an ECG graph, there are some parameters which are set for calibration. Without that parameter, how will it move? What is the reference point? You have to give reference point. Similarly for this also, you need to give reference point. Like suppose if I am measuring the energy, like if I give a reference, this direction is good, this direction is bad, like positive, negative. First I have to give a base map, then it will move accordingly. So if I ask the vibrations of it to show based on clockwise, anti-clockwise movement, then it will show. Till then you can give command, but you can't. People also misguide, but we should not mentally put our energy to rotate it. Only give a command, give a base map, and then use it non-judgmentally. Then you will get correct result. Yes. Neutral mind, non-judgmental mind, stable mind. That's it. Then you will get correct result. That is only the reference, base map. Like this is positive, this is negative, or ask it what is the like direction. You want to reverse the map, it's possible, but take that as only the reference. Taking that as a reference, then you have to get the correct result from it. You should not use your mind to get the result. You have to use your mind only to give a reference. That's it. By purification, practice, sadhana. That's what is there, na? Yama, niyama, these all things, Ashtanga, Patanjali, like these all things are there for purification of body, mind and soul. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, these all things are there. So discipline. So sir was asking like how we can't, like how to not procrastinate the things. So most of the time we try to do certain things, we'll not have energy. So we want to do, we will have intention, but body will not support. 90% of our energy is getting drained with this LED light, with mobile phones. Everyone knows, if we, including me, I know if I use mobile phone, how much it will drain. Though I use for good purpose, for like replying my messages in my WhatsApp, whatever people ask me, that will also be very draining. It will take lot of time because I get lot of messages, but I reply them. At the same time, I don't drain my energy. I balance. Sense your body. What is your tolerance? What is your capacity? Either increase your capacity or divide the work. If you are going in an auto capacity is 4 people. If 10 people are sitting into the auto, then it will take more load. The engine will spoil. So reduce the load or increase the auto's capacity. You can't put lorry load on auto. So divide the work. Do multitasking. Multitasking will drain the energy. At the same time, multitasking will make your work faster also. That is the gift for human beings. Multitasking ability is there, but at the same time it can drain if you are not sensible there. So facilitate yourself with natural things in your house, like that water what I'm talking about. If you see my Instagram, uh, so I have posted many of my works there, that Jiva Jalam or whatever works I have. You can see that later. It's very simple technique. More simple thing is, if you have a bottle, broken bottle, like I wanted that broken bottle in the morning, I don't throw it. I use it as a planter. I use it as a seed holder. So, like, you need not even use a broken bottle. You can use normal bottle also. Put water and put a money plant. Put near your desk. See the energy level, how vibrant you will feel. There is something called Panchabhuta lamp, which I advocate. That also gives lot of radiance in the house. Plants, use these bioenzymes for mopping your floor, as a room freshener. For sanitation, you just spray and apply. Sir was asking like how to get that energy. Like it's normal if you observe after taking a case study from a patient, we feel low, we feel drained based on the patient's energy. We get drained. Most of the time it happens when you think that I am doing. When I comes, our energy will get drained. But when you think that you are instrumental for that divinity to work through you, you will not drain. Since morning I am talking continuously. Yeah, maybe I'll get cough because I'm using my throat continuously. I may have to sip water. But still I can talk. I have that energy. So that I-ness will obstruct your energy. So that I-ness should be surrendered. That again by practice. Then, of course, eating right food, lighter food, proper digestible food, like paying less load for the stomach for processing it. Then it's simple. And Sangha is important, right companion, right community, Satsanga, Sangatya. These all are important. Being with such noble people, absorbing their energy, or be among the trees, be with the cows. Go seva, do go seva. You need not drink cow milk, just be with the cows, do seva. That's it. Like how you are getting energy? Microbial activity. Because again, cow, when it grazes diversified grasses, the energy of the cow will be different from the cow which is tied and fed with grass. There will be a lot of difference. So olden days, we were equipped with such houses, natural buildings, natural flooring, proper ventilation. If you see here, there is no ventilation. How many of you agree there is no proper ventilation? There are windows, but no ventilation. According to the architecture, hot air will flow up. So hot air should be vented out, but hot air is circulating here. Though there is window cross ventilation, hot air is there up. So it will create atmospheric pressure. So that will create humidity. That will create suffocation. Simple. So if there was an exhaust to remove the hot air, I think now Sundar Garu will make some arrangement to keep an exhaust to bring that hot air out. Then the temperature, of course, the area itself is humid because of the coastal region, but still, if you manage to push the hot air out, all of the modern houses, we don't have ventilation. But there is technology where we can make a hole with the machine and put an exhaust or natural draft. That is also possible. Ventilation is very important to bring the hot air out. So there are many such things which we can adopt. Like even you have seen when we switched off the lights, automatically ice were cooler, body temperature was normal. That's it. These are the practices. Bring more indoor plants. And whenever you approach a patient, try to encircle your fingers like this. Open the tap slowly. Keep one tap underneath. Allow the water to flow through your fingers. Because when you touch other people, those people's energy will connect to you. If you have a strong energy, then it will not affect you. But if you are yourself are feeling low, that energy will override and you will feel more low. So encircling this finger and allowing the water to flow in between, water has memory, and what again setting intention is also important. Mechanically, if you do it will not work. So then if you hold and set your intention to request that water to absorb that negativity, water will just pull that all negativity which is there in here in this vicinity, which is not went into deeper dhatus, into your deeper aura. It will be there here. Immediately cleanse your energy. Then this water you can put for the plants. Then you will feel lot of difference. It will not affect you. Normally, when you hold the phone, the wrist will pain if you hold for a longer time. So this is all that radiation which gets abstracted here. In the body, there is a concept called homeostasis. How many of you are aware of homeostasis, right? So it's a balance. So pH balance, temperature balance, emotional balance, hormonal balance, all balance thing will be regulated through this process called homeostasis. So now, if you are, for this homeostasis to function properly, you have to give right inputs. So if you are not giving right inputs, then from where it will get balanced? It will take the energy from the bones, so they get depleted. So then the toxic get accumulated because of that depletion. Other toxins are there. Then that will cause arthritis, osteoporosis, and other problems. So simple solution is right inputs. When you are giving right inputs, automatically the body will not take from other sources, and in fact that deficiencies also gets replenished. So right inputs for everything, even for detoxification, even for energizing, right inputs. Any other questions? It should be a dialogue. If I only talk, if you ask, then
I have
someone was asking about oil. He's not here. Pardon?
These are the regular practices that a student undergo to maintain a mental state.
So, completely a student should have aim in their studies for gaining. Study means not information, wisdom, jnanam. So nowadays study is like information. When you take lots of information also which you can't process, like how sir said, it's like a ama. So don't go behind all things. Take one thing, absorb it, digest it, absorb it, and then go to other things. So when you try to take more things, maybe you get exposure. Okay, these all things are there. Just to that level. Don't dive deep into everything all at once. Step by step. Suppose you are studying some Ayurveda, suppose Vata Pitta Kapha Dosha. Focus only on that. Don't keep jumping here and there. But there are many times when we don't study the basics first properly, when we are studying advanced, you can't proceed further, you will get stuck. At that time, don't hesitate to come down to the basics. Study that subject properly, understand it, absorb it, then come back to that subject and study. Then you can progress. So most of the time we miss that as a student. So keep your foundation strong. Then you can progress faster, easily. So we oversee foundation of our previous subjects, previous classes, and we think, okay, this is important, that way, that anyway it's finished. Now I'm third year, first year subject I don't know, but now I'll concentrate on third year. No, you cannot proceed further because the foundation is there. So you go back to that subject, understand it properly, then proceed. And don't study for the marks. Even if you get less marks, it's fine. You gain confidence on that subject. That is important. That will help you in your life. Nowadays, if you don't get mark, we will not get proper rank, and these all things are there. But even a person who has low rank, if he is capable, strong in the subject, he will shine better than the person who got higher rank only for the mark's sake without subject. So the wisdom will never go anywhere. Rank, it's our luck, because it's a competitive world. How much ever you study, how much ever you dedicate, sometimes it's our luck. So don't worry, go behind the ranks and all. Get the subject knowledge properly in your hand. That will progress you ever in your life. And show your gratitude to your masters. That is very important, which people miss. Gratitude to your teachers. I still have gratitude to my school teachers. I still remember them. And whatever I learn from people, like even it may be a child, if I learn something, I show gratitude to that child. That gratitude bhavana is very important for our progress in our life. That is like a blessing. Anyone? Yeah.
In agriculture, we used to use bioenzymes like fertilizers. We used to use like trichoderma viridae and all. It will have some lifespan, like 2 years or 2.5 years.
Which one?
Trichoderma viridae and all.
Bioinoculants?
Trichoderma viridae.
Trichoderma?
Viridae.
Huh?
So you are saying that they are more than 10 years old and they're still we can inoculate into the new thing, means a newly formulated one. So how it will be, if any changes will be there after 10 years also?
Question is not clear. So
we used to inoculate trichoderma viridae for fertilizing the plants. It will be the lifespan of around 2.5 years.
That culture?
That culture. So after that, if we use also, there was no use because they are already dead. You are saying that it was from 10 years you are storing in the bottle from 10 years. So while you are inoculating into new, then how it will be surviving after 10 years also?
So sir was mentioning about Sthita Pragna Sthiti. So these are resistential stable bacteria. So I want to tell you something related to soil. Don't worry about nutrition, soil testing. If you equip diversity with diversified plants and diversified carbon matter, microbes will flourish, and all the nutrition it will absorb from the nature and it will supply to the plant. We need not break our head about the microbes, which microbe to inoculate and other things. Just facilitate diversity and carbon matter. That microbial activity, like whatever we are doing in a bottle, that will establish in the soil itself. That will be resistential when that environment is right. So you need not worry about trichoderma, which is 2 years old. After that, it will die. Actually, bacteria will transform from one state to other. It will not die.
And then it will expire.
That's
So
what.
I'm
Don't worry
talking-
about that packaged inoculants.
No. If it is mixed with the soil, then it will be there in soil. I'm asking about you are already packed in the bottle for 10 years.
These are different from that.
When you are inoculated into new thing, after 10 years also it was working as bioenzyme to get.
Because these are stable bacteria.
Yeah.
Stable
That's what I'm
bacteria will stay forever. When it has that environment condition to be stored, it will stay forever no matter whatever conditions are. So stable bacteria is important. There are many microbial strands which will expire after some time. Even when you are making bioenzyme, there are different bacteria which will formulate and it will die. And finally only one type of bacteria, resistant bacteria, will remain. So we need not worry about other bacteria. Okay? And you have observed when you add rice in a glass bottle, airtight glass bottle, keep it in the shelf, forget it for 6 months or 1 year. What will happen to that rice grains? Understood? If you keep rice in a bottle, airtight bottle, keep it in one corner for 6 months or 1 year, forget it, and after 1 year, what will happen to that rice grain? Pest will come. Then after 2 years, after 3 years, nothing will remain, only some dust. It will turn into soil. From where the pest has come, how it transformed into fly, that worm will come, pest will come, flies will come, it will eat away all the grain, and finally no pest is seeing, only soil. Where is the pest? Where is that worm? So it's all the transformation of one species to the other based on the environment. Because every species have a role. Once it finishes its role, it will transform into other being. Like that microbes also. Different microbes will come at different levels. It will transform into higher or whatever need. Because initially yeast will come in that bioenzyme making, then acidophilus will come, then lactic acid bacteria will come. One, like suppose you are a doctor, okay, you have a talent of singing, you are also a singer. Suppose you have a talent of cooking, you can be a chef also. You have a talent of crafts, you are an artist, painting. So one person have multiple roles, right? So like that, one bacteria can take different shapes, different roles. Life inside the organism, life form is one. It will take a role according to the environment and need. I am not a doctor, but I am healing people. I don't have any certificate, but it's my experience, it's my research, but I don't have any certificate. So same person having multiple roles. Like that, life form will transform, take different shapes according to what it has to be done there. Suppose I know some martial arts and I am very much connected to the police officer and there is some need there, they can take my help. So temporarily they will give some posting for me. That is possible. They will take help from civils also during curfew and when there is need in the society. They will give temporary certificate, and they will take help from civilians also, even if it is not a policeman, because they have a trust in me and I know how to deal with the situations. So one person is doing multiple roles. Like that, one life form will take multiple roles, multiple functionalities. Based on that, we are just naming that microorganisms, but underlying life form is one. Any other doubts? Okay, I'll ask you all one thing. What do you first do after going from whatever we have discussed? Shall I tell? You'll open my Instagram and you'll see what all I have done. Am I right? You'll try to explore what all I have done. You'll try to scratch your head first. Like it will be, of course you have listened, but still you'll be scratching your head because it's like overwhelming. But start with something, like bioenzymes is easy. Biosalt is easy. Right?
Bio oil?
Pardon?
Bio oil.
Yeah, bio oils are also possible. How? Actually, one person asked me that question. I am just waiting for him so that I'll not repeat that answer for him again, but he's not visible. He was very fair and little fat, wearing black shirt. Can you please call him so that I'll not repeat?
The one from Mysore.
I think so.
Where is he?
Can anyone please call him? Because he asked me 3 times. I said I'll cover in the class so that others also get benefited. He was wearing specs, fair,
I know
and
him. I think he went out. I don't even have his number.
I just saw him before I was entering for this session. Okay.
It's live. He will listen to it. He just answer.
Okay.
Everything is recorded.
So, bio oil. How to retain life in the oil? We need not add any life form to the oil because oil itself has life. When you practice right process of making oil, how do you make oil? By extracting from seeds. How? Cold press. So when you are not undergoing heat, life will be intact. So cold press oils are bio oils. But cold press oils are not suitable for us to consume because it has anti-nutrients. We have to eliminate. So we have to soak them, sprout activate them, dry them, sun roast them, then make the oil.
In Ayurveda, we do murchana. Murchana
Means
means the oil, the raw oil. We will add some spices and some milk, and then we do some paka. Then only we will give it to snehapana to drink. We can't
Okay.
give the oil like that. Otherwise, it will create amaya.
yeah.
So we do murchana.
Yeah. So here in Ayurveda, whatever murchana is there, we are adding spices and milk and boiling on what temperature? That matters.
They always suggest very low temperature.
That's important. Many people I have seen making oil infusions, like suppose you have nirgundi oil, nirgundi leaf, they add in sesame oil and they heat it. The oil will smell rancid.
Yes.
How it
exactly.
will work?
Yes. Nothing.
It will die. Like even the herbal values all will die. It will not work.
In Ayurveda, initially we transfer the nutrients to the decoction. We make decoction first, then add oil, and slow flame we slowly transfer it from this to the oil.
The mist method I will teach. So you again to make decoction you have to boil.
Yes.
So rather in my fermentation techniques I add the herbs with less water with microbial inoculant. Microbes will leach out all the things. Okay. And I don't add much water here, and I dry them. Means already leaf will have moisture. I'll tell two techniques. One technique is adding the microbial inoculant to break down the some toxicity or dosha, and then drying it, then adding that into the warm oil, keeping under sun. That will leach all the medicinal values into the oil. That is one method. Other method is shade dry the herbs completely. Maybe just air dry. Don't keep the herbs under sun, because under sun you will lose the nutrients. Always dry your herbs under shade. Then add that herbs into the oil. Okay. Then keep under sun, covering a cloth. Especially morning sun up to 10 or maximum 11, then bring back to the shade. Again you can keep in the evening from 5 to 6, like mandagni, like it should not be very peak heat, so that temperature it gets infused, so then you can get the extract. That is one method. The other method is when you are taking the herbs, fresh herbs, chop and add into the oil. Oil will spoil if you just leave it. The technique here is keep stirring it. Oxygenation under the sun. Then it will not spoil. Then the moisture will evaporate. Only the herbal concoction will be absorbed by the oil. Then to filter that oil, you have to keep a container which has holes. Keep on the top container this extract. That oil will drip down naturally if you give time. Then that, or you can squeeze in a cloth, but still by squeezing in a cloth, that cloth will take lot of oil. That oil can be used as Swedanam and other things. But if you have colander, that will release the oil down and you can collect that oil. That is one technique.
This method is called Suryapaka. So already that is there, sir.
Okay.
So today morning, one doctor told about the skin diseases. Then Anjane Murthy sir told about this 777 oil.
Okay.
They use this Kutaja leaves, right here in
Okay.
Victoria. So they collect the leaves early in the morning. Then when the Shira is coming out of the leaves, they collect it and put them in
oil.
In the oil, and then do the Suryapaka. And the oil is wonderful in psoriasis. And then we have Suryapaka Kasi Sadi Gruta. So there is Kasi Sadi Gruta where the Paka happens only in the Surya, no direct flame. And then Anudaila we keep it under the moonlight. So like that there are so many practices in Ayurveda also.
So the science behind this is not killing the life in the process.
Exactly.
Then these all are bio oils only. If you are following this practice, it's bio oil. Bio means life. Basically, there should be life in your substance. So all this nut butters also is undergone into cold process. So it has life. Normally, when you roast any nuts and make the oil or nut butters, it will die. Nut butter outside, if you take like peanut butter in the market, it will be all preservative, added with preservatives. And it will not have shelf life. Even after adding preservatives, even after refrigeration, it will spoil. But this can stay for years together. Because if I would have not followed the process of soaking and sprout activating and drying, that anti-nutrients would have been there, then the oil would have gone rancid. Because I have removed the anti-nutrients and then sun-dried, sun-roasted and then stone grounded, that retained that life, anti-nutrients are lost and it is not generating heat, and that can stay for longer time. That's the science behind it. But I found fermentation technique more like, rather than making concoctions, fermenting and then getting that extract in oils is working more amazingly.
One company, some few years back, maybe 10 years back, they made concentrated forms of asanas and daristers. And the dose they were suggesting was only 10 drops, 5 drops.
Yeah, this Amalaki Kanjika,
Uh,
I just give 5 ml in 100 ml water,
Oh.
or just 2-3 drops in 100 ml water. It will give the same benefit. Normally, amla juice suggestible dose is 30 ml,
yes.
but this is very potent. Few drops is enough. You can try this.
Any other questions?
Uh,
Sir, the bioenzyme inoculum that you have prepared, you have sourced from the best resources like in the deep forest and all. But where we live, we can't go in to that place to create that inoculum. So what we should do?
you can take culture from me because I gathered from different places.
And you have explained the importance of the gut bacteria, sir. And you have also told the rich gut bacteria sources like curd, buttermilk are also not that nutritional, which can nourish our gut bacteria. the
It
flora
depends
and
on
fauna.
how you are making. If you are making
We
it
live
in
in
the right
hostels,
way,
sir,
then
so it is not made in right way. So these days, people are marketing to use prebiotics and probiotics. So should we use those
these are
prebiotics?
the probiotics. Again, thanks for this question. Normally, when a person is in the scientific laboratory, when they are making probiotics, they extract microbial strand. They create an environment in the laboratory by feeding sugars and creating that microbial strand from that environment, and they multiply them. That way, you are segregating the microbes from that holistic, we call it as consortium bacteria. So when you take this much soil from the forest, it will have trillions of microorganisms of different species. Even in the scientific world, they couldn't differentiate, they couldn't name every species. They are just categorized. Now, when you extract a certain strain from that bacteria, from that consortium bacteria, they will not be stable. They will be pathetic, they will be unstable. So that will not actually help. And even if you have to use it, it's like again dependency. Once you stop, again it will cause problem. But if you follow this 7-day process which I told, so that will at least equip your local bacteria or the forest bacteria that will sustain for a longer time. So use those inoculants that will be like your probiotic only. That will be much better than artificially making. And one more thing I want to share here, we do abhisheka for God. We use
Shira,
Panchamruta, milk, curd, honey and all. See the science behind it. It's all the microbial inoculant with Meda mantras you are putting on the Lord. Okay, that you are taking it as a tirtha. So that is actually inoculating your microbial disrupted gut microbes and replenishing your microbes. Apart from that, earlier days that abhisheka, tirtha, whatever milk, kshira, whatever we were using, that was entering the fields. It was nourishing the soil. But now the abhisheka, whatever we are doing, it's going into the drains. Of course, it should purify the drainage water, but that amount of pathogenic chemicals load is more. So this is not resistential bacteria still. We can make it and then use into the drainage system. Like this bioenzymes, if you add in the drain, it will purify the drainage water also. So we need such inoculants. Then yes, definitely it will replenish the gut.
Thank you, sir.
So it's dinner time, sir. So we'll have dinner, and generally we have entertainment session in the, yeah. Huh. Be louder. Be louder.
So this I call it as mother culture. When you are adding diversified and waiting for 3 months, that will have a stable bacteria, diversified stable resistential bacteria. Okay, so when you are making rose extract, add rose, just immerse in water and add this extract and keep mixing it. Mixing is very important. Then you will get the extract within 30 days or 20 days. There the microbial activity will be there because you are adding that inoculant.
You are not audible. Keep the mic here.
Amla
Yeah.
Kanchika? So that's what I use my inoculant, added amla, immersed in water, or without amla, without water also I can make more stronger one also. I just added that inoculant and mixing it daily. Then it will become softer. Then I squeeze in a cloth. I'll get the juice. I don't use any mixie. In fact, even to filter also I use coconut shells, cloth. For funnel also I don't use plastic funnel. I use coconut shell as a funnel. You can see my YouTube videos for all those things. So we can avoid plastic. We don't need plastic. Even to collect coconut water also, when I get to the collect coconut water from the vendor, normally they fill in plastic bottle with plastic funnel and they will give us. I take my glass bottle, I take a fabric and I directly ask him to pour into the glass bottle. I don't even use metal for my processing. Zero metal, zero plastic. So metal, maybe if I have to make nut butters, there I am using the stone grinder which has metal surface. Only for that I am still using my metal, otherwise there is no metal. Manually I am searching for equipment which will not even have that steel. So that's why I am behind wooden slow, what you call that, coal gunny, like wooden oil mill to make my nut butters, because I want to avoid steel contact completely. I want to use wood or stone. Like I'm still working on such machines because I don't have machine on my own. So there I am still waiting. Why I am too concerned with this? Because metal will react. The potency of the medicine or whatever preparation you are making, it will reduce. That's why I am concerned with the metal also. And even for making some, I don't make any kashayas. I do only microbial extract. It may be sugandhapala. I have sugandhapala. I have various like clove, then elaichi, cardamom, cinnamon, vanilla, like how you have seen vanilla. Everything, no boiling, just extraction, microbial extraction. Yeah, I use Suncharge, that Jiva Jalam water.
So
Okay, so finally, Sharira Madhyam Kalu Dharma Sadhanam. Okay, body is there to do all your dharma sadhanas. So treat this body as a temple, as a vehicle, like God is there residing in us. So keep it pure, give right inputs, so that God will be there within. If you start giving wrong inputs, He will go. That energy will be there. Definitely, with that energy only, all beings are working. But if you keep purity, then God will reside in you, or else He will go away. So remember this one thing.
Thank you so much, Shailendra ji. That's a wonderful takeaway from you. So treat this temple, treat this body as a temple, and you will find God automatically. And like someone asked, and you have answered the first part, the question, how to, we have so many things, how to handle these things, like that you were telling. So, yeah, we have so many things. Suddenly we get so many inputs, and we don't know where to start, what to start. 100 things. We learn so many things. See, we have this circle of influence, a small circle where we can do some work. And of course, there is a bigger circle of concern, where there are so many concerns. And there is a gap between the circle of influence and the circle of concern. And that gap causes stress. Okay? So we want to do so many things. We can do only this many things. So that gap causes stress. We want to do all these things. We are unable to do all these things. But we are forgetting that we have lot of time. You are still young children, right? So you have a long time. So you divide that big circle of concern into small circles and try to work on whatever is there. Remaining things, you park them safely in the parking place. You don't have to worry about them. Make a list of all the concerns, park them, and focus on whatever you can do right now. Slowly your circle of influence will increase. It will become bigger and bigger and bigger, so that you will cover all the concerns. And you have to do some sadhana for that. Okay? Reading good books, putting them into practice, meeting good people, doing greater things slowly with sadhana. So that's why we are starting with yoga in the morning, right? And before that also we are taking Panchagavya to replenish our gut bacteria. We are drinking Panchagavya every day. So our cows, every day they go to the hill, they graze, they come back. So that's why the Panchagavya is so effective, so good. So we are doing both material and also on the next level spiritual plane. So continue this sadhana. Whatever Ayurveda Dinacharya is there, it is a great Dinacharya. So do the sadhana and strengthen your body, strengthen your mind, then you will achieve greater things. Then your circle of influence will become bigger and bigger, and you will be able to do all those things. So don't worry, park all your concerns at one safe place and slowly pick up each one and work on it. So,
You know why there are many things to explore? Diversified things in the nature, right? In every field. Because God doesn't want us to become bored. If there is only one color, only one flower, only one variety of grain, we get bored eating same thing or seeing same people or meeting same people, seeing, exploring with same talented thing always in the life. So many things are there to explore.
table.
So if you are getting bored with one thing, switch to other thing. There is diversity. So diversity will not make us bored. That's why in nature there are so many diversities to explore and not for us to become bored. But at the same time, don't keep everything on your head and try to make everything, explore everything. Take one at a time. Don't get overwhelmed.
Thank you so much, sir. We are lucky to have you tomorrow also, and we all want to taste what you are going to prepare for us. So the delicious food, we are eagerly waiting for tomorrow's.
So we are preparing some cake now.
Now?
Huh.
Okay.
For tomorrow we have to prepare.
For tomorrow, so one cake is also there, another dish is also
We
there.
are also making that curd rice without curd and milk.
Curd right without curd and milk. Okay, nice,
So today
sir.
only we have to prepare. So
Breakfast and lunch both.
So thank you so much. Let us have food and let us try to get the energy from that food. So you have seen the what Bhojana mantra and what offering to the God, what the intention has, how it changed the energy level of the food. So with that intention, let us have food with full focus. Thank you.